normal responses. If we're looking at more of a functional movement and movements rather than muscles, we could also take a look at this arm and say, okay, so I'm going to have her go with thumb on top. Now when she goes into shoulder flexion, go ahead and do shoulder flexion, and then she's going to come back up and she's going to do, actually let's just do the shoulder flex test. Ready, hold. She's strong, okay, so she's going to do shoulder flexion again, and then I'm going to test the muscle. Hold. She's strong, normal. Okay, now, if I give a stimulus, normally that muscle, or that when I lift the arm up like that, there's a sequence of muscles that take over depending on where the arm is in space. The mechanical advantage at different points brings different muscles into play. They activate in a sequence. If I give the wrong order, strange things can happen. So if I tell the upper trap to go first, and then the biceps last, and I go here, she brings it up. Now I'm going to do the retest. Ready, hold. She's weak. I basically gave a stimulus that was not the correct order. Okay, so now I'm going to have her hold that again. It's probably reordered itself and it's fine. Okay, but now if I go back and I do the right order, so normally it would be biceps. So biceps would go first and then upper trap would go later. Okay, and then go ahead and do that. So she does that. Now that's the correct order. Now she's test strong. The brain understands that there's a sequence this goes on, and it will allow for muscle strength or better function when things are in the proper sequence. If she brings her arm back here, from back here, if she was going to bring her arm up, she'd use her biceps. She wouldn't bend her elbow first. It's kind of almost going to look funny, so bend your elbows there. Now bring the arm up, and then bring it back down. Now, if she tests that, she's weak again, because that's the wrong sequence, okay? So when we see people moving strangely, like they stick their butt out and then they bend their knees, or they bend their knees way before they go into their squat, or they do different things, aberrant movement or kind of asymmetrical movement will kind of lead to weak muscles and poor movement overall because the sequence is not correct. A lot of times pain issues, she's had some things going on, pain issues will also resequence things because the brain doesn't want to engage those muscles. I'm going to do a different one with her right now. I'm going to have her actually do an abduction. So let's take your arm here. So she's just going to do an abduction. Good. And then bring it up and let's test it. Ready, hold. And she's fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do though with this one is I'm going to give her an improper order. So I'm going to actually have you, hold on a second. So, okay, hold. That's actually, raise the arm up. That's a proper order. Good. Improper order. Take it back down, sorry. Okay, arm up, ready, hold. And she's weak. Okay, so when it gets the wrong signal, now shoulder flexion and shoulder abduction are different too. Because in shoulder abduction, the first muscle is the external oblique on the other side. So if I have her side bend to that side and I take the external oblique, I shorten it, guess what happens to this shoulder? Weak. Bring it up, side bend, weak. Good, back up to normal, strong. So if she had an injury over here or somewhere where she had to move around it to be comfortable at some point, the motor pattern can change, in which case I could have a bad shoulder because I've been hitting the ribs or something like that, and now I'm kind of side bending to protect those ribs reflexively. It doesn't hurt anymore necessarily.